What's going on, everybody? WWE TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2016 pay-per-view results. So this pay-per-view took place in Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center on December 4th, 2016. It aired on the WWE Network. Your commentators for the show were Mauro Ranallo, David Otunga, JBL, and Tom Phillips. Why we have to have a four-man commentary booth is beyond me. Just to run down the show. General thoughts, I thought it was a pretty good show, actually. It looked good on paper, and it delivered. And I think I'll have a different opinion to most about this show on certain matches. And they gave it a lot of time. It wasn't really necessarily a lot of matches. You just had your core storylines just kind of taking place on this show. And I thought the match pacing that WWE provided was exceptional. You had a 10-man tag on the pre-show. Off the top of my head, it was American Alpha and the Hype Bros and Apollo Crews taking on Kurt Hawkins, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains. American Alpha picked up the win after they hit their finisher on Gotch. It was really a nothing match. Why WB has to have an hour pre-show is beyond me, especially going up against football. But an interesting note, they don't have any pre-shows for Raw and SmackDown scheduled for this week, so we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, kicking off the main show was a WB SmackDown Live tag team title match. Heath Slater and Rhino defended against Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. This match went damn near 6 minutes, but 5:55. And it was perfect timing for this match. It was the opening match. You got in there, you got out. There was a title change. Bada boom, bada bing. It wasn't a drawn out kind of thing, and it got the fans staying on their feet for the match. And so it wasn't dragging out or anything like that. Randy Orton and Wyatt picked up the win. Orton hit the RKO on Slater for the win, on Rhino for the win, which was very expected. Slater and Rhino is kind of a comedy tag team. They're really pushing Wyatt and Orton as a tag team, as well as mid-card top stars, and no doubt both of them are. I'm glad that not only Wyatt got a pay-per-view win, which is something he's been lacking as of late, probably for the last year or so, but not only that, but he got his first WWE title. A tag team title is pretty fitting for him. Randy Orton, you could say that he went backwards in terms of winning a tag team title. He hasn't held that title since he and Edge were rated RKO back in 2007. But the way he's positioned, he's not necessarily a main event talent just right now. They're really playing into that storyline with Wyatt, so I'm okay with that. Glad it was short because it didn't need to be serious because you have a comedy tag team in the match that kept it short. I liked it. Up next was a no DQ match between Nikki Bella and Carmella, and this was actually pretty decent. Nikki Bella sold her right knee throughout the match. She picked up the win when she hit the Rack Attack 2.0 in 8 minutes. After the match, Carmella revealed that she was not the one who had attacked Bella at Survivor Series. Rather, it was Natalya who took her place in the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series tag team match between the ladies on both Raw and SmackDown. Up next was a match that I thought that kind of dragged. A lot of people said it was a great match. I thought it was a good match, but my problem was I just early to mid-match, I just could not get into it. They were doing some good stuff. They brawled around, but I just couldn't get in the match. The last 10 minutes was actually very good, and I really enjoyed that. The Miz retained the title over Dolph Ziggler, as I said, in 25 minutes. Perfect length for a ladder match. They gave him a lot of time to sell and tell a story, and I enjoyed it. I don't think it's a great match, but I thought it was a good match. A match that surprised the hell out of me was the chairs match between Baron Corbin and Kalisto. Now, with this stipulation gimmick-type pay-per-view, you can kind of get tired of gimmick matches. However, Corbin and Kalisto pulled out one hell of a match, and it was with a chairs match, which in previous years has been a letdown and just a kind of a throwaway, boring type match because you can only do so much with this. But both guys didn't do the traditional chair shots to the back. They did a lot of innovative and cool spots in this match. Corbin picked up the win in 13 minutes. Now, I was a little surprised that this match went that long, But they told a good story and it was actually really enjoyable, so I'm okay with that match length. Up next was a match that I actually enjoyed very well, and they did pretty good with this gimmick. It was a WWE SmackDown Live women's title match. Alexa Bliss defeated Becky Lynch to become the new champion in 15 minutes and 10 seconds in the co-main event spot. A really good match. They told a really good story, and I was very high on this match. It's going to be interesting to see how Bliss transitions into a champion. Obviously, they're going to do a rematch and continue this program with Bliss and Lynch. It looks like Bella and Natalya will go as the next challengers. It'll be interesting to see who Bliss works with next. Hopefully, they don't go on the Raw direction in terms of so many title changes in so short amount of time. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Alexa Bliss can do as SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Now, up next was the main event. God almighty, this was a hell of a match. You had spots left and right. AJ Styles defeated Dean Ambrose to retain his WWE World title in 30 minutes and 50 seconds. And a lot happened in this match. And I recommend that you go on the WWE Network or other services to check out this match because it's well worth your time, especially 30 minutes. That's a lot of time to fill, but these two guys went out there and delivered a home run. You had them brawling up in the stage, around the crowd, around ringside, using weapons. Of course, it was a TLC match, so you had tables, ladders, and chairs. They did a lot of good stuff on here. At one point, Dean Ambrose placed Styles on an announce table. He grabbed a ladder, he put it on the announce table, and then hit an elbow drop off of that. Retro Randy Savage delivered it smoothly. It looked like it went all right. There was a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction in this one. Styles ripped the back of his pants. That was not cool because you had to look at AJ Styles' butt cheek for the whole match. But other than that, that was the only negative that I had to say about this match. And then the end, they did a swerve, no doubt. The fans really thought The Undertaker would come out because there's rumors, reports that Styles will face The Undertaker next month for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Of course, is in San Antonio, Texas, and they got to fill the stadium, so they got to do something big. But that did not happen. No, in fact, James Ellsworth came out and cost Dean Ambrose the WWE title. Styles, right before Ellsworth came out, and I kind of skipped over this, but Styles did this awesome spot where he put Ambrose on a table outside. He got into the ring. He did a 450 splash springboard style to Ambrose, one table. That could have been really bad if he missed, but he hit it perfectly, and that was an amazing spot. But anyway, to the finish of the match, you had Ellsworth come out. Ambrose was about to win the title. He climbed up the ladder. He had his hands on the title, but that old Ellsworth, man oh man, the no-chin sensation pushed Ambrose off the ladder. Ambrose went crashing outside of the ring onto two tables, which broke, exploded. It was a hell of a spot. Styles got up, got in the ring, climbed the ladder, and grabbed the title to close the show. Now, after the pay-per-view, Ellsworth came out on Talking Smack with Daniel Bryan and Renee Young and stated that he would like to have his WWE title match with Styles on this Tuesday's episode of SmackDown Live. That will take place. But overall, from top to bottom, this show delivered. It was a nice change to see the pay-per-view deliver from top to bottom and didn't have any necessarily weak or disappointing moments in it. And I was very high on this pay-per-view, and I recommend y'all go check it out. Anyway, I'm going to bounce out of here, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this audio update. Let me know what you thought of the show in the comments area below. Hit that subscribe button and like button. And I will talk to you next time.